Hey, welcome to the second course video for the song Intentions from 21 Pilots and their album Breach. I'm musically malnourished, and you're on my journey to go deep and wide in discovering new music and artists. In these videos, we do a deep dive into the lyrics and meaning behind the music. This is kind of the official wrap up for us from 21 Pilots as of now until they create more music. Now, that being said, I do know the track Drag Path is one that we still will be taking a look at. That'll be over on Patreon because I think there's some issues with it existing on YouTube. I do have a copy of it. So we'll do the same thing. We'll give it a listen and an analysis in one video over on Patreon. So feel free to come out and check that out. We have a library of over 50, maybe over 60 videos from 21 Pilots, and we'll continue doing some things with them over on Patreon until they release new official music. But yeah, let's get in and see how we wrap this whole thing up. All right. While Intentions closes the album Breach, by extension, it also brings to a close 21 Pilots lore, which, it is widely accepted, they began telling fans over 10 years ago with Blurryface. The lore has led fans on a journey with Dima, Nico, Trench, and the Bandidos, being subtly woven into the band's music since the start. When reversed, the instrumental ooze and even vocal melody of Intentions are revealed to be that of Truce, released in 2013. Truce is the closer of the band's album Vessel, which also happens to have preceded Blurryface, meaning, in a sense, that while Truce began 21 Pilots lore, Intentions closes it with the former hidden in the latter. That's really beautiful. All right. I am starting it all over once again. Did I learn a thing? Which I think that, and I didn't realize this when we were watching the City Walls music video, that the song Intentions was the close of that music video. And I think the two together paint a really beautiful picture. But obviously the whole idea being the cycle, that he made progress against Dima, that there was change, even if it's going to kind of restart a cycle. But I think that's super beautiful. Am I starting it all over once again? And the question being, did I learn a thing? Is there anything I learned this time against this breach, this time that I, maybe didn't fully complete what I set out to do? But at the same sense, like, maybe you did, the progress means something, even if there's regress at times. And you have to be careful with that, because there are some actions and activities that you can engage in that do irreparable damage. It's you don't want to get in this cycle of like screaming at your spouse and saying hurtful things, because that really cuts deep and punches holes and can be destructive. And so there is the need to learn from that, and grow and do better. But sometimes it can feel like, if you had a regress or a relapse, the question is, did you learn a thing? Will you approach it differently the next time? And then getting into this idea, intentions are everything, which I love this idea. It says, within people trapped in a cycle, change won't happen overnight. Change is a process. And let's take it outside of within people trapped in a cycle, because the reality is we're all in some way trapped in a cycle. The need to show up to life every single day. And sure, for one person, it might be an addiction, like a substance abuse addiction. Another person, it just might be something like selfishness, and you have to make a decision every single day to not be in these cycles of selfishness. So I like that idea of painting it in a broader picture. Change is a process and it takes time. The intentions on bringing change mean something. Those intentions will bring upon change eventually. They will set you free. Because the reality is, once the intention dies, that's the dangerous zone. When there's a failure to show up, when there's a failure to recognize patterns. That's the danger zone, because then you're just acting without guardrails. And this song provides a more hopeful view on intentions compared to the craving. Now I see intentions don't mean much. In the craving, Tyler expressed intentions don't actually equate to progress and action. Now he feels that even when failure comes from good intentions, you can still learn from it and pick yourself back up again. And I don't think he's trying to fully negate the former, because it is true, right? Intentions don't mean much without action, but intentions are also everything. Both can be true at the same time. And I already kind of made my case for the power of intention. So yeah, follow the intention with action, but as long the intention, it's almost like when you have a fire and the fire burns down. If you've ever been camping, you can have a fire in the evening, and a lot of times in the morning, there are still embers burning under there. And so restarting the fire can be much easier. Sometimes it's just a matter of blowing on the embers to reignite the flame. And so in the same sense, it's almost like the intentions are the ember. The flame is the action, but as long as the embers are lit, man, you can reignite that flame. So the intentions are everything. Intentions aren't enough by themselves, but they are everything, and they will set you free. You will fail most. This is such, I think this honestly is such an encouraging line, and it's so clear. You will fail most every day and every way. Did you learn a thing? And it is the reality of life. You will fail most every day. But did you learn something? Are you aware, cognizant of the failure? Because if so, the ember of intentions are still there. Intentions lack memory. Intentions will set you free. This says a core message of the band's lore. So no matter how many times you fell before, it's worth it to keep trying. In order to keep trying, you have to stay true to your intentions and stay fresh, start fresh, even though you failed in the past. Start fresh next semester. You can't let the memory of your past failures stop you from trying to break the cycle again. Your intentions can stay strong no matter how many times you've failed. And then just try to be. Regardless of your intentions and future choices, the only thing you can do in the present is just try to be. The message is reminiscent of a line from Truce, stay alive for me. The meaning of this new line, if viewed as a follow-up, differs slightly. I think it's a beautiful way to close out the album, and especially, man, the City Walls music video closing after the events and playing this. It's so powerful, so moving. Well, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm not going to repeat all the comments I made in the React, tried to give a heartfelt wrap up to what this journey has meant to me and how you have enriched it, and a thanks to Tyler and Josh and their team and all that they do for us in exercising their gifts. But again, thank you. This has been incredible. Keep an eye out on Patreon. So we'll be dropping Drag Path over there and other things to come. Until next time, we're eating good.